This week on Nailed It Library, 4 staff members face off in the Hillsboro Library test kitchen, attempting to create professional-level cakes using the library's cake pans and decorating kits available for checkout. Let's see who takes the cake on Nailed It Library.
On your mark.
Get set.
Bake.
I'm Karen. I'm a children's librarian here. You would never guess. So I am making a Pikachu cake because I'm a big old Pokemon nerd and have been for over 20 years.
My name's Bo Erickson. I'm an admin, and today I made the BB-8 cake. I think I'm gonna call it BB-10 though, because it doesn't really look like the character BB-8, I think. But I only vaguely recall what he looks like actually, but I'm pretty sure I got it.
I'm Mary Kelly.
I'm Mary Davis.
And we are making Hello Kitty cakes. Well, it was supposed to be 1, but it turned into 2.
Well, that was my fault. I did the bake. When I turned the first cake upside down out of the pan, it looked great, and then as it cooled, it collapsed over its own crown, and so we wound up with zombie Hello Kitty with a crack in her head. Mm-hmm. So I baked another one, but then we figured out we could fix the crack with frosting, so we did.
And then we had 2 cakes, and we decided to experiment decorating styles on each one.
The Pikachu cake is tricky. The cake pan, you have to bake in 2 different sections. First you put in the body and the head, and you cook for slightly longer than half the cooking time, and then you grease and put in his ears and tail. But I believe that I had slightly too long of a cooking time because my ears and tail are continuously falling off. This was my first bake. It lost its ears, and it has a big crease across the neck that eventually just broke completely. So,
Like, because I'm a professional, I did a crumb coat like you're supposed to do, so all the crumbs were well mixed into my frosting.
to decorate my darling Pikachu, I first attempted to do straight lines across using the piping tip, and it didn't adhere to the cake very well, so I think maybe I should have done a crumb coat. So eventually the straight across method failed me, and there was a lot more just smooshing the icing into place using straws and knives and various implements.
I'm putting a mirror glaze on because it's going to be wonderful and make the cake beautiful. It's going to go on so smooth and just pour right across the whole thing. I melted the chocolate and I added milk to make it more liquidy. It is seizing up. And now my mirror glaze is a chunky cottage cheese situation. So the mirror glaze didn't happen because it was like chunky.
We decided to go with frosting on one with a straight star tip, you know, fill in the blanks like it does on the example on the cake pan. And then Mary came up with the idea of using candy for the other one.
The licorice, which was kind of fat for her whiskers, but I think the chunky whiskers came out looking pretty cute.
Yeah.
But we got all the yellow on there, and then we used some black for the bottom of his tail and the tips of his ears, and his little nose and eyes. Then I debated trying to make his feet and his arms and legs more visible, but that didn't happen. So I sort of blended in there, but he does have arms and legs. They exist.
So while Mary was mixing extra frosting, I thought it would be kind of funny if I stuffed my Hello Kitty head with all of her jelly beans.
What are these cakes as jelly beans?
And I think she was a little mystified at why we had an empty bag of jelly beans on the table the whole time, but I don't think she caught on.
What happened to my jelly beans?
I'm trying to make a bunch of orange circles because I think there's orange circles on this guy. And now I've got orange circles, but there's no room for black lines because I think there's black lines on BB-8. So this is a different character, BB-10, next model, future generations. And now I'm giving him some whiskers on the top because I think robots have whiskers. That's all I really remember. And now he's perfect, and it's definitely not going to slide off of this cake pan.
But will she get that Paul Hollywood handshake?
The eyes were tricky. I first used Ghirardelli melting squares, which looked pretty cute, but then they clashed with the black whiskers, so then I used gel on top of those. And
Your nose was a stroke of genius.
thank you. Lemon sour high chews, but you got to squish it and mold it right.
Then I tucked in some red and some pink for his little mouth, and then the essential red cheeks, I used one of the fruit roll-ups and cut some ovals Give him that perfect Pikachu look. He is gorgeous, my sweet Pikachu baby, I love him.
Time for the big reveals. The problem with getting librarians to decorate cakes is that they couldn't fail, even if they tried. While they are all great, who really nailed it? Let us know your favorite in the comments below.
Pikachu!